3, 2, 1. Boosters in ignition. And liftoff of Artemis I. We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
I still get chills, and I can't believe it's 55 days ago now that the hardware of the next generation of spaceflight lifted off for a historic 1.3 million mile test mission beyond the moon. And now, top officials stop by NASA Glenn to celebrate that launch and to look forward to future missions in order to get America back to the surface of the moon. NASA Glenn plays a critical role in power and propulsion research for NASA. They've been leading the way for the integration of those systems for the Orion human spacecraft. Cleveland native Jim Free is a top NASA official who oversees the development of every facet of hardware and software for NASA's human space exploration. But he isn't only proud of the women and men making this mission happen. He wants everyone to feel that pride.
It's not just about the engineers and the technicians that are out there. It really takes everybody to do this. And of course, the faith that we get to be funded to do these things from the taxpayers is something. Those are our ultimate stakeholders, and those are the folks that we have to answer to. We answer to them through Congress, obviously, but when folks ask me about it, I tell them you should be proud of this. This is us taking people back to the moon and planning for Mars.
I know Cleveland's proud. There's so many people who are so proud of you and the whole team. And
yeah, the team here at Glenn working the European service module, that's the powerhouse behind this and every other mission. So. Yeah, it should be a great place that's celebrated here in Cleveland.
Okay, so next steps. NASA is working on Artemis II, which will be the first crewed mission to take humans beyond the moon and back. That is tentatively scheduled for launch in 2024. After that, there are plans to get back to the lunar surface in order to use the moon as a base in order to go to Mars. And of course, the people doing that are likely to be the first person of color and the first woman to walk on the moon.
It's going to be fantastic.
Huge milestones.
It makes me laugh that the moon is basically going to be the layover.
Yeah. To get to Mars.
Think about that.
When you think about
There's
it,
a whole moon base that will orbit the moon that's called the Gateway Project. That is going to be the way station to get us to Mars. So basically think about, the astronauts would leave Earth, go to Gateway, hang out at Gateway. They can go from Gateway down to the moon and back to Gateway and then kind of make that, their habitat and whatnot. And then they can take that and go out to Mars.
It's fascinating.
It sounds like the Jetsons, but here we go.
I know, right?
It's just the way it is.
I love listening to Betsy talk about it. I can listen to her all day.
Thanks.
You're welcome, Ben.
I get excited about
that. I see it.
And she knows what she's talking about, which is also helpful, because I don't have any questions about what you're saying.
Oh, well, always question what I'm saying. That's a rule.